everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this simple toque. It's a classic toque pattern, no ribbing or anything like that, super simple, works up quickly, makes a perfect gift. I've also included a link in the description below to these really adorable handmade with love tags that you can add if you wanted to. I've linked all of the materials needed in the description below, as well as a link to the written pattern if you prefer to follow that. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the steps to make a standard one size fits most beanie pattern. Let's go ahead and get started. So you're going to begin with a starting loop. Just wrap the yarn around your finger, pick up a little bit of this bottom piece and push just a bit of the top piece through, and it'll form your loop. Get that onto your hook, and we're going to make a chain. So yarn over, pull through the loop. Okay, and just keep on repeating that. Yarn over, pull through. And this is how we make our starting chain. For this pattern, you're going to work a chain of 45. So you can just go ahead and pause the video. When you get to 45, come back. All right, so now that you finished your starting chain, we're going to work in the second chain from our hook. All right, so starting in the second chain, you're going to push your hook through that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. You're just going to yarn over and pull right through both loops, and that's a single crochet. We're going to go ahead and just repeat that all the way down, working 1 single crochet into each chain all the way down. And when you get to the end of the row, you're going to have, because we started in our second chain from the hook, your stitch count will be 1 less than your starting chain. So you should have 44 single crochet stitches in total by the time that you get to the end of this row. So go ahead and pause the video, finish working 1 single crochet into each chain all the way down. When you get to the end, come back. All right, so here we are at the end of our first row of work. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we're going to continue on with single crochet stitches. So you're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch of this next row all the way down. When you get to the end of your row, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. After this row, you're just going to repeat this step 65 more times. So in total, you're going to want to have 67 rows of just single crochet stitches. At the end of each row, don't forget to chain 1 and turn your work to keep that nice clean straight edge. So go ahead and work those rows. When you finish working a total of 67, come back and I will show you what we're going to do next. All right, so now that you've finished all of your rows, you will have done a chain 1 and turn your work. We're going to just grab the other end and line up our the long ends here, the long edges, and we're going to close this by working slip stitches through both sides all the way down to connect it and close the seam. So push your hook through that first stitch and then matching it up to the first stitch on the other side of your work of the long edge, yarn over and pull right through the loop on your hook. That's your slip stitch. So we're going to go ahead and just work 1 slip stitch into every single stitch all the way down, making sure that you work through both sides to connect it and close the seam. When you get to the end, come back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. All right, so now that we're here at the end, we're going to chain 1, and you can flip your work so that you're looking at the top of your opening, the opening here. Well, this will be the brim of our hat. And we're just going to single crochet evenly all the way around to clean up that edge. So you're just going to line up your stitches with each row that you just worked and just work single crochets evenly all the way around. When you get to the start of your work, you will notice where your chain 1 is there. We're going to close our round with a chain 1. I'll show you that. So pause the video, go all the way around with your single crochets, and then come back. All right, so here we are back at the beginning. You're just going to close your round with a slip stitch into that chain 1 space. Pull up a little bit of your tail end there, and then fasten it off. All right, now flip your work to the other opening, and we're just going to reattach our yarn at the top. Just going to get my hook in there and get my starting loop on. You're just going to pull it through and slip stitch and just pull a tail end right through. So you can fasten that off. Give yourself a long tail end because we're going to have to work in and out all the way around to close the opening. So grab your yarn needle. You're just going to thread your yarn needle. And then push the needle in and out all the way around evenly, just following the ends of each row that you worked there. So push your yarn needle in and out, and you just want to keep on going just like that, going in and out all the way around. And it's going to enable you to be able to pull it closed like a drawstring. Because it is such a big opening, this is how you get that little bit of like the pulled top of those classic beanies. Give it a little tug as you go. And here I am all the way around at the start. You're just going in and out all the way around, giving it a little tug as you go every couple of rows. And it just makes it easier to pull it closed without your yarn snapping. I'm just working into the last little bit there and give it a tug to close that opening. You'll have a little slight opening there, but we're going to weave our yarn needle in and out across both ways. So I'm just going to show you how I close up the top here. Okay, and you're just going to keep on going until you want it to be nice and flat. You don't want it super bunched up because, of course, I mean, if you wear it fitted, you want it to be comfortable and you want to have that flat top at the top that's inside of your hat. Like right now, you're looking at your hat inside out, so you want it to be flat. And while it still has that bunched look, once it's the right way around for that classic toque look. I'm just having a look at the little openings here. I normally don't show the entire process of closing the opening of the hat because it usually is pretty straightforward, but considering this is a little bit different because usually I get the openings down to a very small size, and it is, I don't want to say much easier, but yeah, it kind of is much easier just to close those hats. But this is it's just a specific look that I wanted the design to have. But you want to make sure that the inside of it is flat. So there you go. You just carefully work it in and out. You can feel it there. It's pretty flush. And before I fasten off, I do like to weave the tail end in and out of some of the stitches down the inside of the work. So I'm not fastening off right at the top of the inside. I just like to work it down into a couple of stitches there. And that's it. Just going to fasten it off. And don't forget that you have your tail ends from the beginning of your work. Just grab your yarn needle, weave that tail end in and out of the stitches on the inside. Your hat is inside out right now. So go ahead and flip it around so it's the right way. And you see what I mean about that little bunched up look at the top? Perfect. All right, so it's super long because we want to allow for a big cuff. So just roll that up and you're done. I hope you enjoyed this pattern. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the helpful links in the description below.